Today, we are talking about the lifeblood of a business, data. If you are running your business data from your memory or from a messy notebook, then this episode is for you. Ken, you are welcome once again.
Thank you very much once again.
So, in your 15 years working experience, bro, I want to understand what are the simple misconceptions that entrepreneurs have about keeping data.
Um, most entrepreneurs, when it comes to data, they actually keep them in their head. At every point in time, they when whatever they do, they try to memorize it and then keep them in their head instead of maybe jotting them down or putting them down in a way. But they always want to keep them in their head. So when it comes to accent or you being an accountant, when you come in as a professional, when you ask questions, they try to remember. Sometimes they always forget. So that is what makes data accessibility in the business world very, very, very low, or like it makes it hard to access data from the self-employed businessman.
But what is their excuse? Is it that they lack time or they fear what the numbers will show them or they don't really know where to start?
You see, from the onset, e- every business person sees what they are doing as something small. It's like a passion they just want to fulfill. So they don't see it as business. I mean, that is how I see them. They don't see what they are doing as business, though. They see it as a passion they just want to fulfill. So when that passion grows and it gets bigger, that is when they see it, okay, it's a business. Right now, I'm running something. That is when they realize that, hey, I bought this, I bought that, I did this, I did that. So that is when you start asking the questions, then they will be telling you stories. So it will start with a story. Oh, me start in a cry no na me cry sada na miniska. Nti me ko krom no na me to refrigerator baako na me de besi ho. Nti no na me kofa chicken wings kakra begu mu. Nti no nkrɔfoɔ starte sɛ ɔmo tɔ ne nkakra nkakra. Nti ne saa na meyɛ na. So it starts with just a passion. They just don't start like they want to start a business for real. It starts with just a passion. So that is why most of the times when it comes to data, they don't keep data at all. Some of them know how to keep data, but they just jangle it apart. And when you ask them, they will not even find it and give it to you.
So I think the passion aspect, for instance, so I have a story, right? There is this woman who is running a shop, and then so her business is actually into one scope. That is her main business. That is her trade, right? And then so let's say she's a hairdresser. She has a hair salon, and she also found the need that she just had space to sell water, but then the business, her focus is not with the water business. She just had the space, and at least if she decide to sell the water, she can get some enough to use in for herself at the shop. So that is it. Her main idea of starting the water business is not for growing a business sake, right?
Yeah.
So that is, I think, the scope. And for me, we also have similar water business, and the plan was that this business is where we go for an urgent 100 cedis, an urgent 200.
So you see, most at times that is how businesses start. So when they start like that, it's just it's a passion. So when they start like that, they don't keep proper records. They just leave it like that. They just do it anyhow because the money coming in is we were say to BD. So they see that mere fund. So whenever he receives his salary or whenever he receives money from anywhere, he just maybe pulls some 500 cedis and then puts it in the business.
Okay. So now we understand that it is just a passion or some funny reason that caused people to start business. Now, this is the case whereby the business owner understand that he or she is always in the shop or is always with the business. He is there every day. He come in to open. After all, one man business, come and open the day and close the day. So he is there. He has everything in memory. How is keeping memory accounting or keeping data in the mind dangerous to the business when it starts getting traction?
Okay, so when around that time, you see, when it comes to numbers, you cannot always keep everything in your head. Even we, the professionals, we don't keep numbers in our head. That is why we jot things down. You put things in books, you put some on your computers, because you cannot put everything up in your mind. And most of the times, the business owner seeing himself as always being in the field working, he sees that he can control everything. But it gets to a time when he is overwhelmed just because of the fact that you are not an encyclopedia or you are not a machine. You can't keep everything in your mind because there are so many things running around at every point in time. Anything can cross your path. Your child may fall sick, and then you may even forget that you even have a supplier to pay. You understand me? Anything can, because you are a human being. And we being humans, we cannot keep everything in our heads. That is why when it comes to data keeping in a business setting, you cannot leave it to being in your head or being present at the workplace every time.
Ejako Bessie meeting your wholesale. So you cannot make your head the your data keeper or like the storage for data, right? It's definitely going to happen that when you really need it most, you are going to
Forget.
miss it. Now we want to consider what will be the most viable data a business owner in Ghana will need to keep and check on daily basis to ensure that they are well informed as to the trends of their business that they are running.
Okay. So in business, the daily data you need to keep is your sales and your expenses. Those are the basic things that you need to keep every time. Now, every business needs to keep that. And in keeping that, it does not take much. A simple Excel tool can help you keep this data without even you blinking or moving a hand. Because you can just open an Excel sheet. Just type in whatever you want to. Let's take it that in a day, I have, let's say, somebody brought me goods worth 200 times. So, Georgina Enterprise brought me maybe Milo, 2 cartons. Cost, you put it there. This one, this you put it there. Or you can even just take the invoice that the person supplied to you and then just type everything out as you see it on the invoice and just keep it on that Excel sheet. Open another Excel sheet book and then whatever you have sold in the day, you just, because most of the businesses right now, you enter, they have a book where they record whatever they have, especially the sales girls in the companies, they are in the let's say in the office, they have a book where they record everything that they have sold at the end of the day, so that the man or the owner will know that, okay, at the end of today, we have sold, let's say, 500 cedis or 1,000 cedis. Even as he, the business owner, is the one sitting behind the counter, he still writes those things down so that he knows that it will pair with what is on his system or whatever tool he is using to sell his goods with. So it is easier using Excel to sell goods and then to do to keep this kind of data. It's easier using it. You can even write them down in your notebooks and then just pin the receipts down with them.
I think you are even going to answer my first question. So let me hold you for a while. Now I want us to make this go in deeper into the books, right? So I am opening an Excel sheet, right? So what are the various category of headings? So we are on sales. What are the various category of headings that I will need? Dates, you see the headings, so that it will guide.
So the first thing you need is
So let's say we are having a table of how many columns?
So your table will be of
Headings of the columns.
Headings of the column will be your dates.
Dates, good.
Your dates, the description of the goods.
Description
of the goods. Okay. And then the amount. And then how many. So let's take it that's how many that you have.
So quantity will come. Then
Quantity will come. So the quantity that you have in the shop will come before the amount.
Okay. Or let's say cost per unit.
So
and
cost per unit. Then the amount, the quantity left.
We are in sales.
Okay.
So we should have date.
Description. Cost per quantity, and then cost per unit. Yes.
Then I think so. Now, how do we fill this? So definitely, dates is going to be the dates.
The dates that you are selling
the goods.
Yes.
I sold the goods.
Yes. So let's take it today. So today is 7th. So 7 July. So today is 7 July. So 7 July.
20x6.
Yes. And then, so Milo. Let's take it Milo.
Yeah.
Milo. You sold Milo. Let's say you have 7
tins.
7 tins.
Or 7 cartons.
Okay, you take it 7 tins.
Okay, 7 tins.
7 tins. And then the cost per unit is, let's say, 50 cedis.
50 cedis. Right.
So 50 cedis. So as you have recorded this, anyone who comes around and he picks this knows that, okay, this is sales for the day. So you sold Milo 7 tins for, let's say, 50 cedis.
Yeah.
So
so it will be 50 cedis each.
Yes.
Maybe we would have to multiply the 50
by 50
so that we know that it is 500
cedis.
350
cedis.
Yeah.
So you get it. So each tin will be 50 cedis.
Cool.
So at the end of the day, you have recorded this down. Anyone who comes and picks this book or this sheet will know that, okay, this is sales for the day. So that when the person is recording in your sales ledger, it becomes easier.
Okay.
But if you tend to keep this one in your head, you may even forget that you sold 7 things that day.
On this particular
day.
Yeah.
Maybe the Milo in the warehouse is left with maybe 2. It's finished, or it may be finished. You know you have sold all, but in checking, when did we sell these ones?
Me who me sika.
What you say?
And never that sounds
And
me
then
who me
what
sika.
happens, me who me sika. But you sold those things yourself.
Yeah.
But you didn't record anything down.
Mhm.
And if you have not recorded anything down, you cannot have anything to track what you have already done.
Okay. So then I think we are cool with the sales. Then you mention the expenses, and I believe expenses will have categories.
Categories.
What will be the
So
first
the first one is your creditors
creditors? Okay.
or your debtors. Let's start with your let's start with your creditors first.
Okay. I was thinking since I have sales,
Okay.
I will buy some
Okay,
things
so
before.
purchases.
So that one to
So your purchases. So your purchases, you have your dates,
date.
your description, and then your quantities.
Yeah. I
the
think
cost.
similar
Yes, and your cost.
cost per unit.
Unit.
And amount. And I think this is exactly how the invoice
It's written.
is written. So it is not like something coming out of your head, like that. You can
That is how every single invoice is written. So right now, as you have it here like this, so when I have the date, maybe the supplier supplied me maybe last week. So last week was maybe on the 1st. So on the 1st, you got Milo. You understand me?
Yeah.
Milo, maybe 10 cartons.
Okay. 10 cartons. Yeah.
10 cartons. So if it is 10 cartons, one carton has, is it
12.
12?
Yeah.
So 12 in them. So 10 cartons, one carton has 12 in them. And you are selling it for 50 cedis. So this one, you will be getting it somewhere around, let's say,
maybe a carton for 400.
400 cedis.
Hey, are we sure?
No. Let me
400
check.
will be. Let's do 450. We are just assuming things here.
So 450. So let's take it 450.
And then you have 4 cartons. Then you have 10. You brought in 10 cartons.
10 cartons.
So if 450 for each, then
Yes.
at the end of the day, the total amount for the Milo is going to be 4,000.
4,500.
500. Yeah.
So when you are finished selling it, you must have your cost plus the profit which you put on it. You understand me?
Yeah.
So that you will see how much. So as you have this there, whenever you sell, the quantities in your leisure reduces.
Yeah.
Your quantity in your leisure reduces. And it will reduce till it gets to the final one.
All right.
And when it gets to that point, you are not yet, when you get to your books, you know where your goods went to. You will not go to your sales girl and go and ask, Sikano, Efine.
Yeah. So what this means is that you have your sales, you have your purchases, expenses. I think you can just pick one general expense book
and then put them all in.
And this time it will be like TNT to go and bring
the goods.
If you paid money to load invoice,
you write them down.
You understand?
Yes, all those things are. So you know what you do before you bring your goods in. So those things are what you list them down.
You pay the electricity.
Even with those ones, when you list them down, you can even pick a sheet of paper and list all those things down. And then after everything that you have done, you just put them down in your sheet like this. And when you leave this one there, anybody who will come, even if GRA comes and nobody knows what you have done for the day, and somebody picks this thing, he understands what you have done.
What is going on?
What is going on in the business. And it makes it simpler for anybody to take a decision on you.
Yeah.
But if you are not keeping anything and you decide to leave everything in your head, you will definitely forget, because you are not selling just one item.
Whilst you have Milo, you may have milk.
Milk. You have bread. You have other things that you are selling also.
Or if you are into building materials, then you have cement. The
Iron
cement,
rods.
you have different brands of them.
Yes, you have iron rods, nails. You have binding wires. So many other things that you'll be selling at a time.
Yeah.
And you cannot keep all those things in your head because you are not a machine.
So if you have a small smoothie joint, you would have your fruits coming in.
Everything.
You would have what do they even use for smoothies? But you have your smoothies coming in.
Yeah.
You have your packs.
Your
the packs.
Yeah.
The
You
cups
have
that
your
you
fruits,
use.
your cups, your blender. Because the blender is the machine that you use in preparing the smoothie. So you have it there. Yeah, your milk powder which you use in preparing the smoothie. All those things are
and on fancy smoothies. Yeah, you see, you know the ingredients. So now, so it is just this simple, but there is a limitation to using notebooks, right?
Yeah.
There are limitations to using notebooks where it means that you may lose the book based on fire or anything.
It's lost. Maybe
or the sales girl may
even take
your money and go and throw your book away. Or somebody can come and tear a part
away.
Or Babe free school about the baby now. So therefore, it is better when we digitize
it. Now, you see, in digitizing it, most of the softwares are paid for. There are some which are free, but those ones are limited. But most of them are, and that is why I'm saying that at least when you have an Excel sheet is a free tool that you can use, and it can do almost all the basic things that the big softwares do.
Can we use Excel on our Android phone, or is there another spreadsheet which is free? You can use
Excel on your Android phone,
and it's free.
Oh,
that's fine.
And it's free because I still have Excel on my Android sheet.
Okay,
you understand me? Excel is free because when you use
and
Excel
those who are using iPhone, you look for numbers. iPhone I got you. I won't let bomber class people come and do anything. So if you are on an iPhone, just go to the App Store and look for numbers. Yeah, so numbers also works like Excel. Yeah. So say continue.
Okay. So with that, you can just do all the basic things that we just showed. And it makes it easier for you to keep records. And it helps anybody who you employ to also help you keep records. Because if the person comes and you're already keeping records, it makes it simpler for the person to also follow suit as to what you are doing. And even your children, when they come and then they see maybe the sales girl selling, maybe you are not around, you just waked up and the sales girl selling, she decides not to record something down. When you come back, they will tell you, oh, Mr. Menu came to buy milk right now. The sales girl didn't write it. Then you ask her, madam, somebody bought milk right now. Why didn't you write it? Then that means you are, because when they see what you do, that is when they practice it. Okay. But if you are not doing it and they see something that is not going well, they will not even be able to tell, because whichever way it is, you are not even keeping records.
But bro, so there is this thing, right? Especially some of the, let's say, petty traders. Charlie, their job is petty. Like oceanographic. Hi. We hope you are enjoying the conversations. Sorry I cut in this moment, but there is important information that I have to share with you. We need you to subscribe to this channel. We need you to subscribe to this podcast. This will enable us to grow our community by the roadside, okay? And maybe at the end of the day, the number of transactions, just imagine running a provision shop with like Metopia water 50 cedis, like Metot of OX. You don't understand 50 pesos and all those things. the volume of transaction, bro, how practical, how can I manage my situation in such a way that though the money coming in is petty, but then in any case, I am able to manage the transaction and record it so that I do not spend so much time on doing this.
So you see, most of the times that is why we have simple tools that let's say a roadside person selling provisions. Now, what you do is you bulk some of the items together.
Okay.
Some of the items you put them together. Let's take it that when it comes
So
to
let's say you're a kenke seller.
seller,
You are taking 50 balls of kenke to the roadside to go and
sell. So when you are taking 50 balls, you know that okay,
30 of them
30 of them are 5 cedis, 20 of them are 7 cedis.
Okay.
So you know how many, so it's 50.
So you won't say Michael came to buy kenke 20 cedis.
20 cedis.
Now I record it. Yamenu came to buy kenke 15 cedis. So you are this time you are counting the number of balls and the number of balls in the different price
size. But whatever you know is that it's 50 that you have. When it finishes, you know you have finished with the 50. You know you have 30, which is 7, and then 5, which is 5 cedi.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to fish is relative. So whatever you pick and give to the person takes that quantity. Here in Ghana, most of us don't use scaling. We don't scale our material. So when it comes to selling in those manner, it's about the person's discretion.
Yeah.
He can decide to give you 4 and give another person 5. You can't say that this one is more than mine.
Yeah.
It's still the same price the person has sold to you. So it helps you keep records, which makes it easier. So you know that it may be the quantity of maybe fish that I bought from the market is maybe 200 cedis. She will sell and make her 200 cedis plus her profit.
Yeah.
And she will not need to keep each and every fish that she is selling at the same time.
In their book.
Yes, because when he sells everything
in
bulk, she knows that, okay, I bought it at 200. I have made maybe 300 cedis. So 300 cedis, this is my 200. My 100 cedis is my profit.
So, Gobe seller, you are not left out. Don't feel like, hey, how am I going to record Kwejo Kwame Kwesi who came to buy Gobe? So, Biaba na record the 20 cedis. Saga Minyadaji. So, what it means is that at least you know that you cooked 4 olonka of beans. You added 5 olonka of gari and all those things. Yes. And now when you take it, you know that the cost for a olonka is maybe 50 cedis. You boiled 4 of them, so that's 200 cedis. Yes. You are expecting that when you sell your beans and everything, you should be getting an amount of so including the oil and all those things.
Yes.
You cost them before they leave to
the
roadside. Yeah, so when you are coming back, you know what you expect. So, Davi, you are not exempted. Now, there is this phenomenon of I want to pay with Momo. Right, I want to pay with Momo, and somebody will feel like, okay, that's fine. I do not need to record my data. I do not need to record my transactions because they paid with Momo. I did live sales on TikTok. People ordered on live. They sent their money to me and then I received them on Momo. So the data is already there. Can I heavily rely on the data that I get or the statement that I get from my mobile money account as my sole record for doing the business?
That one is relative. It's relative in the sense that, yes, you have data from your Momo provider, which you can rely on if you so want to. But keeping records of what you have in that Momo account helps you more. So one thing I do with my wife is whenever she sells and then they give her Momo, at the end of the day, we transfer everything from that day onto her own phone. So the Momo phone becomes empty.
Okay.
We transfer everything at the end of the day onto her phone so that the Momo phone becomes empty. So when you go back the next day to go and sell and you receive Momo, it is fresh transactions that we are seeing on that Momo account. We don't take back what we used follow the last day and then bring it back forward. Because when you do that, what happens is that maybe Kweku Menu says, I've sent you 50 cedis. You see on his phone that maybe he has sent 50 cedis.
Right.
But on your side, the message has not come yet. Now that person leaves, he goes. Now, after some time, you check and still you have not received the amount. And then you ask yourself, but this person sent 50 cedis. Why is this money not in? But when you have money on that phone already, the balance will look huge. And you think, oh, okay,
The
that money
has
is in.
come through.
But if that money does not come, you actually find out when you don't have anything on that account. Because at the end of the day, when you check your balance on your Momo,
It is not matching
it
to
is not matching to
the things that
you have sold.
And have you seen, there is this thing I am seeing that is making me excited. I don't know, maybe if you had it in mind. Now that you are transferring your daily sales from your usual mobile money number to somewhere else, or like to a different account, or like a different, what is happening is that you will not be tracing petty cash again. Now you are transferring bulk daily sales.
You get it.
Right.
Yes.
So
you transfer bulk daily sales at the end of the day. So when you transfer those ones and you want to deposit at the bank, it's very easy to do that. So at the end of the day, in the morning when you are going out, you can just withdraw that amount, deposit it in the account, so that whenever you need to pay your suppliers, you pay out from that end. But if you don't do that and you still have money sitting on your mobile money account, what happens is you see that you have so much sitting on that account and you check your sales and it's very, very less. That is one thing mobile money, people who receive things with mobile money. If you sell and you receive with mobile money, that is one thing you need to check because fraudsters are around. If you don't do that, what makes it easier for them is that you have so much money in your account. You may even forget how much you have as your balance before the day started. And when that happens, what you do is that you see that money is in my account. So you think that, okay, I have money. So that means that money has come. Maybe the person didn't even send it.
now we are looking at those who are keeping some record, like the sales ledger we created a while ago.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I see my daily sales and I see huge money. And of course, bro, I've sold 10,000 cedis today. Am I not a rich man? How can this be misleading to me if I look at my raw revenue sales without looking at the gross margins?
Okay. So that is one thing that most people, in our last episode, we talked about that most business owners see cash in their bank account as theirs. So whenever they see sales sitting in their account very huge like that, they see it that, oh, right now I have money. But forgetting that though that money is not always, it's not yours. It's not that it's not always, it's not yours. Yours is just a portion of it. You have just a portion of that money which sits as yours. So one thing you need to realize is that you have expenses, you have creditors to pay, you have regulators to pay. All those people are sitting in that money which you see in the account. And when you sit down and then you take all those ones out, you see the actual money which you have. That is why I say that every business owner, please operate on a salary. Don't operate on your company's bank account. Operate on a salary. Whatever you want to do, take it out of your salary and then pay out. That one even helps you regulate your spending so that you don't just spend anyhow. Because you may spend somebody's supply that he made to you maybe last month. Maybe the person has traveled and has not come for his money yet. Sometimes you even write checks and the person takes maybe about 2 months to even before he takes it to the bank. And you may think that, oh, I paid him last 2 months, so that money is gone. And you check your bank statement and you see that the person has not even presented that check.
Yeah, and there is this thing you are able to also know. So when I spoke about gross margin, I'm talking about the fact that you look at your sales. So if you are indeed keeping good books, you would have data on your revenue or your sales,
yeah.
right, for the period. You also have data on the purchases, the ones that you did with cash,
Yes.
and the ones that you did with credits.
Yes.
Okay. And then you may have expenses, the one that you have paid with cash and the one that you are owing. For instance, if you are on a postpaid electricity meter or you are on postpaid water meter for your business or those things, right? These are things that have been accrued to you that you might have received a bill, and you will take all those payments from the sales. So if you have all these data, you can really know that, oh, okay, if I take my sales and I deduct all these outgoings from it, I am seeing a gross margin of a
certain amount. You know, you see a gross margin of a certain amount, but that gross margin still has costs involved.
Yeah.
You see, that is why around that time you call it gross. You don't call it net yet.
Yeah. It is not finalized.
You get it.
Yeah.
That is why I'm saying that sometimes you see it that big, but at the end of the day, when everything is deducted and you are done, that is when you see the fine details as to how much you really have in that account.
Okay, so cash is king.
Cash is really king.
Cash is king.
It's king.
So now I think I have kept data, and then the gross margin we just spoke about, I have deducted all the other expenses from my data, and I've realized that Chairman, Mayo Skinny, but you are only rich on paper. It does not really reflect what it is in your account, right? So now my question is, how can this also be deception? Like the fact that you've given a lot of sales, you've done a lot of sales on credits, and your monies are being kept with people, other people, your customers.
Okay, so most of the times, this is what happens to most businesses. But you understand that when you have that, you know that you are not. You still have that, because what is on paper is actually what you have. It's actually what you have. It's about how you collect those monies and bring them. Sometimes you may even have them in purchases that maybe you have gone to get new goods which are sitting in your warehouse, which you have not brought to even the showroom to sell yet. But those goods are there. When you see those goods right now belongs to you. Because if you look at your money on paper, which we call it, you see the money on paper and you see that, okay, so when I sell everything that I have now, this is how much I will make. And you know that, yes, really, you are rich. But being rich does not mean you have to spend that money, or you need to invest in the business. Because investing in the business makes you more richer.
So now we are going to go into technical aspects, and I want us to make it relatable to
Okay.
those in high retail, Mokola woman or Aboso kind
Also kind
champion.
champion.
Right. And the whole point is that sometimes we pride ourselves with the things that we have in our shops or in our warehouse. Then you pride yourself. Me want nyoma 70 containers. Or like, come and see my shop. The shop is full and nyoma home. And that is really our sense of pride as retailers.
Retailers.
Okay. Now we want to talk about inventory turnover. Break this down. What is inventory turnover, and how will the person who is keeping huge stock missing out on profitability?
So you see, in every business, that is why you have to have a professional involved. You see, when you sit and you keep so much inventory, it's your own money which you have locked up in your business. It's true that you still have it in that business, but that cash could have done something else for you, or it may have brought in new technologies or new goods which will come to you. Now, when it comes to uh, most businesses, what happens is they make it a point where they keep a lot of their profits in inventory, especially those in Abosoka and Makola and those women. They keep most of their profits in inventory because they see it as what is bringing them the cash. That is when you may even get deceived, because sometimes some of them will sit there and rot. Some of them, anything can happen. There can be fire outbreaks. There can be anything. So insurance on those goods is even much more important. And that is also another cost which is coming to you. Because sitting in that warehouse, you are paying warehouse costs. You are paying for insurance on those goods. Because those ones are all costs that are coming to you. So you must know how to regulate your inventory. The averages that we learned, FIFO, LIFO, and all those things that we learned in school were not for fun. This is where you need to apply them so that you know how much you need to keep and how much you need to let out. You cannot keep everything in inventory, because when you do that, you lock up cash and then you lock up costs for yourself. Because when the insurance person comes and you tell him that you have, let's say, a goods worth of, let's say, 50,000 in your warehouse, and he records that and he gives you a premium to pay on that, and you yourself, you know that you have goods worth of, let's say, 200,000 in that warehouse, as at the time that a disaster happened, you see that the insurance person will come and pay for the 50,000 and forget the rest.
Yeah.
And around that time, you'll be found wanting and you tell yourself that, so why did I do this? That is why you need not keep everything in inventory. You have to pick an average as to how much you want to keep at every point in time.
All right. So that said, let's also look at those who fund small businesses, being it microfinance, rural banks, commercial banks, and all those things. If they want to fund you, okay, now we have determined that keeping data helps them in making decision. But what exactly are they interested in from your records? So let us know some of the key things that those bankers will be looking out for in case you go out to them to seek for funds.
So when it comes to banking and those banking and financial institutions, what they mainly look out for is your cash flow. Your cash flow is very, very important to them. So no matter how well your books looks, your cash flow is very important. How well you are able to keep that cash flow going. It's not about the amount you have in the bank account. It's about how well you are able to turn around each and every amount that comes into your account. So, how well your traction goes, your ins and your outs will tell them that, okay, when we give you this amount, you will be able to turn around in this number of years. So let's take it that if we give you maybe 200 or a million cedis, within 1 year you can pay. Okay, then let's give him 1.5 year. We know he can pay in 1 year, but we'll give you 1.5 year, and the bank will make money out of you. Because the longer it takes for you to pay, the more money the bank makes.
Yeah.
And they will not give you a time which they know that actually you will pay within that time. They will add certain time to it so that they will also make a lot out of you as you are also making money. So most often than not, you see that your cash flow is basically what they look up to. Your sales, your cash flow. Whichever way it is, that is what they are looking for. When they come and pick your books, that is where they are going to. They will go and check that part. If it is good, you are good for any amount.
That's fine. You are good for any amount that your data is speaking to.
Yeah.
If I want to transition now, I am convinced I need structure in my business. Okay. And then I want to start keeping books. We have agreed that you can use the spreadsheets, Excel or numbers, right? And we want to keep each book. So, what are the books that I can keep now to start my journey to be a structured business? I just mentioned them off. First one will be
First one will be your sales,
okay.
your purchases, your debtors, your creditors, and then your basic expenses which you do. That is your overheads, your basic expenses that you do at every point in time. Those are the basic things that I would tell you that you need to keep. So when you're able to keep those ones, it helps anybody who comes in to even develop a proper structure for you to even build up from there.
Thank you very much, Ken. So the whole point is that you need your sales expenses, the basic ones. We've also looked at purchases. We have seen creditors. You need to know the people you owe. And when we talk of debtors, then these are people who owes you some money. Now, beyond that, there are other books you can keep, but these are the basic ones, and they are the basic because they are the ones that when you start from there, any other thing can follow. Because when we can see your vehicle, so we know you have a car as an asset. We can see your land, we can see your shop, and all those things to take them into consideration. Thank you for joining us for today's discussion, and see you in the next episode. You can also look out for our previous conversation with Ken, and it was a marvelous conversation. See you in the next episode.